This is Will Beeman TV. Brian Norman Jr., Brian Norman Sr. split after all these years. Him training his son, man. Very unfortunate. But I got your order. Let me walk y'all down the street real quick. So, okay. I know how Roy Jones' situation ended. Shane Mosley. The list goes on, right? The part that's getting me is because this is what I don't like, right? Anytime a fighter loses, this was his first loss, right? People hit the panic button automatically. I dislike that. Because like, bro, everybody's not gonna be undefeated, which I like to call the Mayweather effect, right? Everybody's not gonna stay undefeated, bro. But there's always a saying: you see who's with you when you up, and you see who's with you when you down, right? Now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate in this video, but like I said, I'm gonna walk y'all down the street. So I watched a video of Brian Norman Jr. saying how he couldn't really focus during the fight with Devin Haney because he felt like, people weren't focused in training camp. Bunch of distractions, right? And he felt like Brian Norman Sr. was focused more on the antics and things outside of the ring than the fight itself and what Brian Norman Jr. had going on, right? Mind you, he was fighting Devin Haney, which brings a different set of eyes. 100% agree. I'm sure y'all can agree. With that being said, you know the magnitude of fighting someone like a Devin Haney or Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, whoever you want to name, right? That's a reputable name in today's, boxing. But that's like, they can say, oh, he wasn't used to this big moment in his life. Of course, it's one of his I would say first showings of a big fight, right? Jin Sasaki, all of those other fights, yeah, they were good showings, but Devin Haney's a different animal. Bill Haney knows how to sell a fight in and out of the ring. Junior felt like Brian Norman Sr. was only worried about the antics outside of the ring. Now, here's the thing. Senior, to his defense, Brian Norman Sr., he got his son to this moment. Now, I heard people saying like, once you get to this level, you have to have a certain person in your corner with credentials, right? Now, this is the part that shakes me. So I don't feel like he should have fired his dad. Now, I get it. Now, like I said, I got to play devil's advocate. I get it. Certain people have certain relationships with their father, or father-son relationships where you bump heads because you're turning into your own man, or if you will. And it's certain things your dad sees that you don't see, or you feel like you want to take your career into a different direction. I don't feel like over one fight that should have happened, though. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. When you're at this level, you don't really have room for a lot of mistakes. I understand that. Now in Brian Norman Jr.'s defense, when he was in the ring, right? I can't say allegedly because they say this is what happened. They said his dad told him to go get him. Most boxing trainers are gonna be like, well, what does that mean? Go get him. What the hell is that, right? But see, in boxing, you got guys that when they're training guys, they may not have to give you an elaborate breakdown on what you need to do, da 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 da. Some guys are just triggered by words. Think I'm lying? Go ask Mike Tyson. Some guys are just triggered by words. They may say something like, hey, lights out, champ, James Toney, whoever. And they hear that and they just go in full on rage. Boom, snap it on, and they just go get their target, right? But then some guys, you have to really coach through it. So, okay, like for instance, if Brian Norman Jr. was in the ring, and well, there's no if he was in the ring. When he was in the ring, his dad may have told him something, like he was saying, jab to the body, hit him in the shoulders, come upstairs, and really attack Devin Haney's body, right? If he told him that, and Junior's seeing something different in that ring, and he's like, okay, you telling me this, but he's a little faster than what we expected. You know what I mean? Like what we intended to do, it's not working, Dad. So Brian Norman Sr.'s job is to bring him back in the corner, conjure up a new game plan, and attack that new game plan. Because what they always say, everybody has a game plan till you get hit in the mouth. Right or wrong? Follow me? So, from what Brian Norman Sr. is saying, he made the adjustments. Well, he tried to make the adjustments, and he was saying that Brian Norman Jr. wasn't executing. They showed a clip of where he kept his hands up in one sequence. I want to say it was the second round before he dropped them. And he was like, he knows better not to do that. But one fight, guys, come on, yo. Like, one fight, my guy, like, unless it was building up, boiling over, I don't know, we don't know, we're not in their camp, but like one fight should not end the relationship like that. One fight is like, yeah, your whole career is in front of you, but like one fight. Now, if his dad coached him in his next fight and he lost that one, okay, now we can go to the drawing board and see what's going on, But one fight, that's not a good look, man. And now it's like, I don't know their relationship per se, like, you know what I'm saying? I know how my relationship is with my dad. I'm just speaking from experience from my relationship. So me and my dad, if me and my dad bump heads and he gets on me about something, like I said, I'm a grown ass man. I have my own. My dad taught me to be a man, taught me to go out here and get it. Never, nothing bad to say about my dad. My dad, that's my guy. I look just like my dad. So it's like, but when we have bump heads and, he's gun ho on something and I'm like, Dad, I'm stuck on this. We agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, we keep everything level headed. Now, business and like boxing, things like that, it's a different story. Now, I mean, he's it's his career. I got to respect that part, it's his career. And he's going out there putting his life on the line every time he steps in that square circle. So it's like, the timing of it, of him losing one fight, and now he's trying to switch trainers and things like that, listening to the bugs in his ear saying like, hey man, like your dad's not it. You're going to need somebody with some more experience. And then his dad is like, I'm not playing second fiddle to nobody in my son's corner. Now, some people will say, oh, well, if you really support your son, you would do that. But it's like, bro, sometimes you just need to mind your business. Speaking of that, I'm speaking on the on the situation. Speaking of minding business, but this is just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like I said, nobody really knows, what their relationship entails, the father-son relationship. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's gonna be awkward now. Their relationship may be a little tainted. You know what I mean? Because now it's like if Junior goes and finds another trainer and he loses again, was it Senior's fault? Was it not? I don't know, man. But yeah, man, you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We back at it, man. We out.